Hi everyone, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to briefly explain who my book is for. There is a lot of controversy and misunderstanding as a whole, I think, for a lot of the words we use regarding same-sex attraction, LGBT, whether it's a struggle or it's not a struggle. Just a whole bunch of things like that that can be misunderstood. And I wanted to just clarify who my book is for. When I wrote my book, which is called Longing for Intimacy, the subtitle is Hope for Women Struggling with Same-Sex Attraction. When I wrote this book, I shared my own story, and I primarily, the women that I had in mind when I was writing it are women who are usually in the church, almost 100% definitely in the church, who are struggling silently with their sexual identity. Whether anybody knows about it or not, they are generally not open about it. Maybe they've shared with one or two people, but it's not something that they share with everybody. And that is who I wrote this book for. Anybody who is wrestling with their sexuality. Now, there are many people, women, since I'm talking about women, there are many women who are in relationships with other women who do not call this a struggle. This is not a struggle for them. This is something that they are doing and are totally okay with doing, and that is not who I had in mind when I wrote my book. Those people, which I know some of you are watching this, tend to be offended by what I write, because my view is very different from theirs. So primarily who this is for are women who would call this a struggle. They're calling this something that they don't want, and they don't know what to do with it. Sometimes they end up getting into pornography as an outlet for that. Not always, of course, but there are a lot of women who have already read my book and it's helped them, who are wrestling with their sexual identity and have gotten trapped in pornography as well, which is part of my story, which is why and how they find my book. Also, anyone, and this was kind of unexpected and kind of new for the people reading my book, but I have found a lot of women writing to me who have been married to a man for 15, 20 years, and they fell in love with their best friend, and they really got entangled in a relationship with her that to them came out of nowhere, and they don't know what to do. Those are people who are writing to me saying that my book has helped them. There's a lot of women who are dealing with this. And these again are also women that you would not know about, because they're not going to tell you that they're dealing with this. So I just wanted to explain who this is for. It's interesting because I have received so many emails from people who bought my book to either just to support me, to understand more, to buy it for somebody else, and they read it and it helped them with something that they're dealing with, even though they couldn't relate to my testimony, the details of same-sex attraction at all. Just the struggle, whatever the struggle is for them, it helped show them how to get through that, because the basis of my book is learning how to rely on God for our fulfillment. The intimacy, the longings that we have is something that only He can fulfill. And this is not a book about 5 steps to becoming only attracted to the opposite gender. This is not a book like that at all. I know a lot of people who have not read my book have said that this is about reparative therapy, and it is not. Those who read my book will recognize that. But this is a book on how I learned how to like Matthew 6:33 says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things will be given to you as well. It is a book about how I learned how to do that, and how I learned how to lean on Jesus for the intimacy that I was craving with other women, how I learned how to lean on him for that, and that he actually could provide that for me. I could have that in him. I thought this was a sexual thing. It wasn't. Do I still experience same-sex attraction? Yes, I do. It is not at all like it was before, because before there was a lot of lust attached to it. There was a lot of shame, and that is gone, both the lust and the shame. So now it is kind of more in the background of my life. But that's my story. We all have different stories, but this book is primarily my story, and encouraging other women who are in similar places. So I just wanted to kind of clarify who my book is for. Really, I pray that anybody who reads it, that God will speak to. When I wrote it, before I published it, I pray that everybody who read it, friends, enemies, people who read it because they thought I'm ridiculous, because they're angry with me, because they wanted to help somebody else, because they were curious, everybody. I have prayed that everybody who reads my book, that God will speak to them, and I'm believing that he will. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.